Hello guys, good afternoon. Am I audible? Apologies for a big delay here. I'm really sorry guys. So we were having really a technical issue and we just ran into that, and fortunately we were able to fix that, and in the process we got delayed. Just a quick hello or a hi whosoever is part of our chat today. So yeah, we are live today. So last week there were some again issues, so we were not available for that, but again we had missed a couple of classes last week, but again this will, from this week onwards, we'll be going live, and we'll be having a detailed discussion. So anything guys, so if you are online, just a hi or a hello on the chat will be really good, so we can quickly start, right? So meanwhile I'll let people join in. So if you guys just can say a quick hello or a hi in the chat, will be really good. Great. So meanwhile, I'll start, so people will start joining in. So as you know, guys, my name is Arpit Jain, and I'm a senior data scientist myself, right? And I've been in industry for more than 8.5 to 9 years now. So I've been in industry, so I've been working as a data science guy, and I was into multiple domains. So I was in the bank, and then I was in a cloud domain, then in manufacturing, automobile sector, then right now I'm in telecommunication. And that's the beauty of being into data science, guys. So you kind of have a flexibility to work in multiple domains. But yeah, I mean, if you are into a particular field or particular domain, you'll be given a preference. But again, that's not a hard-coded requirement to get into a data science job anyway. Right. So any questions regarding data science and your journey, always feel free to ask me that. So we can always take your questions. Right. And again, so I'm a motivational speaker as well. So I take career mentorship sessions, and I talk to people about their journey, about their life, and then I do talk to them regarding then whatsoever questions they have regarding their career. So do feel free to put up your questions, so we can always take that, guys. So I'm always available for that, so we can always talk. And regarding the subjects during our course, guys, as you know, we'll be talking about Python. So we have agreed for SQL. So yes, to your information, guys, this weekend we're gonna have the masterclass on SQL. So that's gonna be a kickstart. Okay, so we're gonna have 4 hours this weekend. So 2 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday, and then we're gonna run through the SQL things. Okay. I'll try to add as many questions as I can, and I'll try to brief up as well. So to the best of my information. Okay, so and then so this weekend gonna be a masterclass on SQL, so we're gonna start it, and likewise I'll plan the respective sessions accordingly. Okay, so PySpark, that's again a part of our course. So after Python, we're gonna start PySpark. So that's a big data component of Python. You already know that. So nothing special there. So we're gonna be talking about distributed computation, like master and slave architecture on Python. So we're gonna be doing that. And plus you have a code right in front of your screen, which is Python 10, right? So with this code Python 10, you'll be getting a 10% off, guys, on the Unacademy Plus subscription. So you already know this, what Plus subscription is. And then if anything else, guys, so you can always put up the questions and we can talk. Okay, hello Simran, thank you so much for joining in. So yeah, if you have any friends who are supposed to join today in today's lecture, so do to inform that we have started. So we have started late, but again, so we're gonna continue it likewise. Cool, guys. So that's about the basic introduction of myself. And now about this. So I've been talking about Unacademy as a platform which has introduced Relevel, right? So Relabel is a new platform, guys, which has been introduced by Unacademy, and it's more of a I would say a test online platform where which can help you to get your I would say the dream job. Okay, so many of times we have felt that the candidates feel they are missing out on great opportunities due to multiple reasons. Okay, so many times they feel that they don't have the right degree, and they don't have the right connections. So maybe they don't know the right people, maybe the recruiters or good connections in around the industry. So they feel that it could be one of the potential reasons that because of the degree or because of their poor network, they are not getting the job. sometimes they also feel that they are applying to 100 jobs, and then their resumes doesn't stand out. So there is some issue with the resumes, which is getting rejected multiple times, because there are 100 other applicants along with you for the same job, right? So your resume does not really stand out. So that could be one potential reason so candidates are feeling that. And then there are reasons like we have been getting this information that the candidates are applying for like 50, 60, or maybe 100, 200 odd jobs, and still they are not getting any single call from the recruiters, right? So that's again major issues. So not only these three guys, so there are multiple reasons where we have felt that there has been chances where the candidates are missing out on the right opportunities. And that is where Relabel has been introduced, guys. So Relabel is the first test hiring platform where it's by Unacademy, where the job seekers will be able to get their dream jobs. Okay, and how basically you'll be getting that. So it's more of a testing platform based on your skill set. So you have to choose the portfolio where you want to be part of, and based on that portfolio, you're supposed to be giving some online test, and a few respective questions regarding that area. So there'll be few rounds of test. So and there'll be in total of 1,000 marks, right? So you have to secure some certain eligibility criteria marks, and then once you get that marks right based on the test you give on this platform, you don't have to do anything else, right? You have to just sit back and relax, and the recruiters, the company will reach out to you directly. So this is purely based on your skills and talent, and you're not supposed to be dependent on your degree, on your network, or anything XYZ which is apart from your talent. Okay? It's purely based on your skills. So if you're skilled enough to get the right marks in your assessments, then you are the right person to get the job. Okay, so it's more of I would say a place where your skill sets, your knowledge will be tested, and based on that you'll be getting the job. So basically what happens internally is, so we have tie-ups. So Unacademy has tie-up with multiple startups, multiple unicorns and organizations. So what happens is, once you give the test, right, so your test report card will be sent to these organizations by the time you get it, and eventually they'll start filtering out and they will start calling you. So they will reach out to you instead of you going back and reaching out to them. Okay, so that's the difference, guys. Okay, and then if you participate in the Relabel test program, so there are certain other benefits as well. So I'll just brief out you. So as I've said you, so there are over 50 plus companies, including top startups, unicorns like ENY, Cred, Upgrad, Razorpay, Urban Company, and many more such companies. They are hiring directly from the Relabel as a platform, right? So we have tie-up internally with these organizations, and they are hiring directly from Relabel platform. And there are 1,000 plus job positions across three portfolios right now. So business development, front-end development, and back-end development. And eventually there are multiple respective positions inside these. But again, so the three portfolios: business development, front-end, and the back-end development. So across these portfolios, we have 1,000 plus open job positions. So once you attend the test, once you attend the assessments, right, so you'll be open for those open positions basically. And as you know, guys, this is completely online, and it can be taken from the comfort of your home. So you be it anywhere. So it's purely online. So you can sit at home, and then you can choose your best time, your comfort time, and then you can take it the way you want it to be. And the best part is that you can take this test for completely free, guys. So this is completely free, and it's a beta platform. So this test right now is completely free, and then you can finish your test. And then the important thing is you have to finish your test in the single day of your choice. Okay, so there are 5 rounds of the test. The expectation from you is to finish the entire test in a single day's time. So based on your selected time frame. So whenever you have selected the time as, so you can choose that time, and then you can finish up the entire test. So you have to take the entire test in a day's time. So your selection date, right, and then your score will be given to you within a week's time. Okay, so within a week from the attempt of your test, you will be getting your report card, the result. Okay, and once you clear the test, guys, so with the qualifying score, right, so you will be actually able to create an amazing candidate profile, which will help you showcase your skills and stand out from the crowd. And something that stands out is always noticed by the company. So you know that, right? So it's basically, once you have the right results with you, right? So right results means I mean say that, so if there are, say, as I said, 1,000 marks, so minimum eligibility criteria is 700. So you have to score anyway above 700. So that's the bare minimum eligibility criteria, but higher the better, right? So if you can really score well, so the only standing out criteria here is your qualifying marks. So the way you are getting your marks, and you can retake the test again, guys. So you can retake the test as many times as you can, but the retest time frame is 30 days. So if you have attempted it today, you will be only eligible to reattempt the test after 30 days of your last attempt date. So nothing earlier than that. Okay, so if you're attempting the test, so be mentally prepared that so you are in a best mind shape, and then you're going for the test. And along with that also, so there are multiple rewards. I mean, the candidates will be rewarded with multiple exciting goodies like MacBook, iPhone, and many more such exciting prizes for the highest rank holders for a particular month. So if you're one of the highest rank holders from Unacademy on the Relevel platform for that particular portfolio, so you are eligible for those exciting goodies, guys, as well. And with Relabel, so you are in a unique position to invite interest from companies instead of you hunting for your opportunities on your own. Okay, so once you have a great score, you can sit back and relax. The companies will reach out to you. Okay. Also, the signing up on the Relevel platform is quite easy. So you have the website, so relevel.com. So once you go there, so you have an option to sign up. So sign up will ask for some relevant details. So it's quite user friendly. So you can just fill up the details and enroll yourself. Right. So since the test of your choice, the next thing will be like, so you have to select the test of your choice. So you have, as I said, 3 open portfolios: business development, front-end development, and back-end development. So you can see the open positions 500 here, plus 150 plus 350 plus, and some of the popular roles within these portfolios are like sales associate, business development manager, customer engagement associate. In front-end we have web developer, Angular developer. Back-end we have a back-end engineer, Java developer, data engineer, right? So these are the few interesting designations or the roles which are available under these portfolios. So once you select a particular portfolio, so based on your interests, the next thing which will ask is the test date. So whenever you are willing to take up the test, and guys, so the slots are quite limited. So I would suggest you to book it fast if you want to take it. So you have to select the right date. So whenever you feel you are comfortable to the best of your shit, and once you have selected your test date, the next thing it will ask to create a neat video resume. Okay, so video resume is something which is very important here. So as you know, since it's a video resume, so you have to be in your best shape. So grooming skills are important here. So you have to be neatly shaved if you're a man, and then nicely groomed, likewise the candidate, right? So and then video resume is expected to be anywhere between 30 seconds to 3 minutes. So you can shoot up the video, start recording, and talk about yourself, like what you have done till date, what is your strong areas, why do you feel that the company should hire you. So talk about good things, so talk about yourself in briefly about 30 seconds to 3 minutes of time to prepare the content well before appearing for this resume. So once you have prepared the resume, the next thing is you have to just sit back and wait for your test date. Prepare well and just give your best, right? So why to wait, guys? So please register for Relabel straight away. So you have the website relabel.com, so you can just register it and then you utilize the best you can. So it's actually a great platform, guys. Cool. So and as you know, so we have an official Telegram channel as well. So in this official Telegram channel, so this is a one place stop for you. So you can actually join this group. So you have all the right updates coming up here. So right updates as in all the live shows, all the upcoming important activities going up. So it's a one place stop, so you'll get all the information straight away here. So you won't be having to you won't be running around here and there for information. So you can get it right away straight here. As always, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys. So if you feel that you're getting benefited, so do motivate us as well. So feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Cool. So with this, guys, so we are into our content slide for the day. So we'll be talking about Pandas Groupby. So we'll be doing the exercises today. So I'm going to do a quick recap of Pandas Groupby. So it's one of the very, very key concepts, guys. And if you have any questions, anything which you feel that you want to talk about regarding Pandas or Groupbys, okay, so feel free to do that so we can take up the questions meanwhile. So I'm going to just run through a quick recap of Groupby. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to solve some good questions today. Cool. Anybody else, anybody has any questions from anywhere? So anybody wants me to cover anything? I can take up the questions. So if you have anything, please, this is the right time, guys. So we can talk about your questions. Cool. So if there's no question, so we can start with our pandas. So we are talking about pandas group by. Cool. So I hope people are still there with me. So we have been doing a lot of things in pandas, right? So group by is again one of the key concepts in pandas, which is actually used not only in pandas, I would say in other places as well. So group by is more towards you're taking the groups, right? And then you're performing the actions on those individual groups basically. So that's how we have been using it, right? So the whole objective of using the group by is you are splitting the data into certain groups, right? And these groups basically could be of your choice. So I mean, whatever the data is, right? So based on your choice, you can split the data into smaller groups. And then on these smaller groups, you'll be applying the compute functions, or you'll be doing some sort of, computation or some sort of activity, whatever you want to do, right? So instead of doing a group instead of doing the whole data level computation, you're performing the aggregated functionalities, or you're performing the I would say the compute functions on the smaller chunks of data. So these smaller chunks would be my groups. So basically my individual sliced out data. So for individual groups, we are performing the computation separately. So instead of having the whole data level computations, we will be doing the computation on a smaller chunk of my information. So that's why we are using the group by, guys, right? So I hope you are still there with me. So as I said, you can always put up your questions, so we can always talk. So I'm still monitoring my chat. So we are live today. So you have anything in your mind, so do feel free to put up your questions so we can take that. Cool. So this, we have created this one data frame, sweet looking data frame. So I'll just put it up here, right? So this is my data frame. We have created it. So it's a cricket data frame. So and we'll see how exactly it looks. So we have this. So we have 4 columns here: team, rank, year, and points, right? So I mean, yeah. So group by basically can be done in multiple ways. So here, for example, you could see that inside team, we have what we have, say 4 teams, right? So India, Australia, South Africa, and New Zealand. So we have 4 teams here, right? And also in the year, I could see I have 14, 15, I have 16, and I have 17. So 4 years as well, right? So I can take any groups, even the rank wise I can do. So I can see 4 ranks, individual ranks, so unique ranks, 2, 1, 3, and 4, right? So 4 different unique ranks. So I can take any of these, could be as one group. So maybe India is one group, right? Australia is one group, or maybe 2014 year as one group. So it all depends on what kind of computation I'm planning to do, what I have, what I want to perform in my data, right? So accordingly, I'll be taking the groups here, right? But this is how my data looks like, right? So we talked about the sort values function, right? So sorting the data. So we discussed about sort values. So remember, right? So we can sort the data based on any individual columns here, by team, by rank, by year, by points. So for example, suppose if I do it, say sort values, right? So I have a sort value here, and if I do it by, say, team, right? And if I run it, so you can see this, right? So I have the data sorted in terms of my team. So ascending order, this obviously, so it's a string. So basically A will come first, I will come second, and then S, right? So it has sorted the data based on the name of my teams. Okay. But now can you see this? So my entire data is not sorted. For example, you can see this here. So you can see here, so New Zealand 2016 data is coming first and 2014 is coming second. Still, it's not completely sorted. So we can have multiple sorting done on top of this. So we can pass team, and then we can also pass year, right? So if we do this, so we'll be having the sorting done based on teams and years as well. So Australia 2014, 15. So likewise, you can see New Zealand here. So 2014, 15, and 16 sorted based on my years as well, teams and years. So sort values, we've already seen this, right? So we can perform these sort values based on multiple keys, single keys, and then in fact this under this I can also pass ascending, descending, true, false. You already know this. So ascending order or descending order. So that's totally possible again. Right. So let's talk about the group bys. So we talked about the group bys ways. Okay. So here, so we know that. So there are three specific ways of doing the group bys. Okay. The first and the foremost is using the direct key. Okay. So I mean, for example, suppose I want to take a group by based on teams. Okay. So I can just use the key name directly. So key is basically my column name. Okay, so that particular key which I want to use. Okay, so the name of my column based on which I want to take the group by on. Okay, so that's my first column. That's my first way of creating the group bys. The second is I can pass the list of columns. So basically the list of keys. So if there are multiple keys I want to take as a identifier for my groups. Like for example, I suppose want to take say year and rank, or say team or year. Okay, so if there are multiple rows within for a T and the team and the year, so I can take that. So there could be multiple ways I can pass these group by keys, right? So either a single key or a group of keys also can be passed here. Cool. And yes, so also the third and the final way is we also define the axis. So axis 1, you know, by default is 1 is my columns, right? So by default axis 1 is my column, and I mean, if I want to specify that, so you can give the key name and then axis as 1 for defining the column. So depending on your choice. So but again here the only difference is it's under the quotes for the first way. The second is the last is not under quotes. Rather, I'm telling that find out this particular key in the columns. So that's the difference. Okay. So here, as I said, so I can do it on what? So df dot group by. So group by is my key here, right? And then the team is my first key. So I'm just doing it on the one key. And the way now, so these individual teams, so these individual groups would be some sort of chunked data, right? So how to find out this information, how to find out this data? So we have something called as groups. So I can pass groups as a function on top of my group by object. So once I do that, I'll get the indexes of my information. Okay, so can you see this? Now this whole information has been churned out in 4 different key value pairs. So it's a dictionary basically. You can see that it's a dictionary, right? So under this groups, I have 4 key value pairs. So and the keys are what? So and the keys are my specifically my key items. So under this team, so I have 4 different teams, right? So each of these 4 teams are the individual key for me, for the groups, for identifier of my groups, right? And under this, you can see that the row indexes where the values are present. Okay, so you can see this. Australia is present under the index 2 and 3, right? And then you have a key of India. India is present under 0, 1, and 11. So that's my indexes, right? So India is under 0, 1, and 11. So absolutely great. So no issues here. So likewise, you can see this. So this is how my key and the value pairs are returned in when I use the group. So basically, each of these key value pairs, where the key are my individual key elements from my groups. So whatever I select. So if I use, instead of team, if I pass say year, right? So in this, what will happen? So in this case, my keys would be my individual unique years I have in my data, right? So I believe there's no issue in that. It's pretty much clear, right? So that's how we're gonna see the groups. Okay, so that's my entire data, and that's how I'm seeing my entire groups. So you can see this, even if I just simply pass the group by object, right? So group by on a particular key. So it's a group by object. It will not return anything. Okay, it's just a group by object stored at some XYZ location. This is my memory location, and this is where my group by object is found. It's an object type element, right? So it's an object. So from this object, you have to find out what data you want to look at. Okay, so one way I told you, so it's my groups. Okay, so now the second thing is we can also find out, like, you know, a particular group which I'm looking at. So if I want to still find out a single group, say I want to get the information of only Australia, right? So I want to see the data of only Australia, or I want to see the data only of, say, India, in that sense, right? So suppose I'm doing say team का जब मैं groups करूँगा, so I have the keys here like this: Australia, India, New Zealand, South Africa, right? So I can find the particular group by using a function called as get. If I use this get underscore group, okay, and now if I pass the key of my group by object, so it'll be like this. Right, so now this whole the whole df is now been reduced to a key value where the key is equal to Australia for the group by key, which is team. Cool guys, any issues here, or am I being too fast? Is this point clear? But let me, meanwhile you're posting up a question, let me just pull up some other things. So now suppose I'm doing a group by, okay, my bad. So it's P group by, and I'm doing on multiple columns, and suppose I'm doing on team, and also I'm doing on say year, okay, and then I'm doing the groups. Okay, so basically now I'm using the two different keys, team and year, है ना? So team and year के में मेरे पास ये सारे groups है. So basically now in this case you can see this, the key is basically a tuple element, immutable है ये. Immutable क्यों है? Because you cannot change the key, right? If you change the key, then the dictionary itself is false, right? So you can change the values, but you cannot change the keys. Okay, you can add the keys, but you cannot change the keys. So keys मेरा यहाँ पे mutable element, immutable elements है, which is a tuple. So suppose now अगर मुझे यहाँ पे get group करना है on top of these immutable object, so then in that case I will have to do like this. So it will be group by of say what, say team, team and year, T capital होगा यहाँ पे, dot get group. अब इस get group के अंदर suppose मुझे अगर इसका combination चाहिए ना, so this entire thing is my key guys, so do not get confused. So I have to pass it like this. So this is my immutable object, right? So this is how I have to run it, and if I do this, I'll get the chunked data like this. ठीक है, कोई इशू नहीं है. This is how we do it. So अभी हमने निकाल लिया information. ये आइटरेशन तो सिंपल है. सो अगर सपोज हमें इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए, सो आपको पता है ऑलरेडी, बिकॉज ये की वैल्यू पेयर में आता है, करेक्ट. सो ग्रुप बाय जब हम ग्रुप करते हैं, सो ग्रुप एलिमेंट मेरा की वैल्यू पेयर है, राइट, यू ऑलरेडी नो दिस. सो आई एम जस्ट डूइंग द प्रिंट ऑफ की अंडर डेटा. सो की बेसिकली क्या है मेरा, सपोज अगर मैं ईयर पे करूंगा तो इंडिविजुअल मेरा ईयर की हो जाएगा, एंड उसके रिस्पेक्टिव का डेटा जो है विल बी माई वैल्यू, है ना. सो इट्स लाइक मोर ऑफ अ की वैल्यू पेयर. सो देयर इज नो इशू इन दिस. सो वी कैन लूप इट ओवर माई डेटा एज वेल, है ना. इसमें कोई इशू नहीं है. वी हैव सीन दिस, में कोई भी इशू नहीं है. Great. Now let's talk about some of the aggregation functionalities. This is something which is very good. So अब basically group by करके हम group के ऊपर कुछ computations करेंगे, correct? So we have seen some of the good functionalities. Aggregation पढ़ा हमने, transformation पढ़ा हमने, filters भी पढ़ा, है ना. So let's talk about some of the aggregation functionalities. Suppose जैसे aggregation में क्या है, हमारे पास group by हमने team करा. अब aggregation के ऊपर जब आपने टीम कर लिया ना, तो टीम का अब irrespective of all of these individual teams, I want to find out what is my size. So basically what are my individual data points. So हर एक टीम के अंदर कितने data points है मेरे पास, है ना. So I can use this aggregate functionality and then use np.size. For example, likewise मैं इसमें points का mean भी निकाल सकता हूँ, points हर एक individual team के points का max हो गया, कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ. So aggregation मतलब एग्रीगेट कर रहा हूँ, समराइज कर रहा हूँ मेरे डेटा को, है ना. समराइज तो मैं किसी भी तरीके से कर सकता हूँ, किसी भी ग्रुप पे कर सकता हूँ. सो एक एग्रीगेट फंक्शनैलिटीज आपकी रन होती है ऑन टॉप ऑफ योर ग्रुप बाय एलिमेंट्स, ठीक है. अब इसमें मल्टीपल तरीके से हम पास कर सकते हैं. सो फॉर एग्जांपल सपोज आई वांट टू रन मल्टीपल सच एग्रीगेशन फंक्शनैलिटीज ऑन टॉप ऑफ माय कॉलम्स. सपोज अभी पॉइंट्स है मेरे पास, है ना. तो मुझे क्या करना है, नाउ जो ऑब्जेक्टिव इज आई वांट टू फर्स्ट ग्रुप बाय बेस्ड ऑन टीम, एंड देन इंडिविजुअल टीम्स के जो पॉइंट्स हैं उसका मेरे को सम, मीन एंड स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन चाहिए, है ना. सो ऑस्ट्रेलिया एज अ ग्रुप का टोटल सम ऑफ पॉइंट्स क्या है, मीन ऑफ पॉइंट्स क्या है, एंड स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन ऑफ पॉइंट्स क्या है. तो दैट इज ऑल्सो कैन बी पास. सो अंडर दिस एग्रीगेटेड डॉट agg एज अ फंक्शन, I can pass the list of functionalities I want to pass. So I want to compute on. So sum, mean, standard deviation and all that. So that's what also we can be doing. ठीक है, ये सब हमने पढ़ा था. आप इंडिविजुअल कॉलम्स को भी कॉल कर सकते हो. इंस्टेड ऑफ कॉलिंग इट ओवर द एंटायर डेटा, आपने ग्रुप बाय टीम करा एंड टीम के बाद आपने स्पेसिफिक कॉलम्स को कॉल कर लिया, पॉइंट्स एज अ स्क्वायर इंडेक्सिंग जैसे हम करते हैं बेसिक, एंड देन उसके ऊपर मीन भी कॉल कर सकते हो. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. सो सिंगल स्पेसिफिक कॉलम वाइज भी पॉसिबल है. हमने ये भी पढ़ा था मल्टीपल, अगर आपको सपोज इसमें मल्टीपल एक्शंस करने हैं, आपको ए के ऊपर सम और मैक्स करना है, बी के ऊपर मिन करना है, और सम के ऊपर, मतलब अलग अलग कॉलम्स में अलग अलग कॉम्प्यूटेशंस करने हैं, राइट. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. सो हमने ऑलरेडी देखा था. सो देयर इज अ पर्टिकुलर सिंटेक्स वेयर विच वी कैन यूज इट लाइक दिस. यू कैन सी दिस, राइट. So basically what does it mean? So I have inside this AGG functionalities, I'm using a dictionary pattern. Okay, so under this dictionary, a particular key would be my name of the column. Okay, so key would be my name of the column. So I have to do the new column here. Okay, so it's like this. So I'll just run it first. I'll show it to you. अरे यार, ठीक है. सो लेट मी शो द डेटा. अभी ये डेटा बेसिकली ऐसा दिखता है. सो आई हैव 4 कॉलम्स हियर, ए बी सी डी. मैंने इसको ग्रुप, एक रैंडम ग्रुप बना दिया, 0 0 1 1 कर दिया है, ठीक है. सो मेरे कॉलम्स के नाम है ए बी सी डी. मैंने ये करा, ठीक है. अभी मैंने क्या करना है, यहाँ पे मेरे को करना है ग्रुप करके 0 0 1 1 के ग्रुप करके मेरे को ए कॉलम का सम और मैक्स चाहिए, बी का मीन चाहिए, सी का सम चाहिए, और डी के ऊपर एक लैम्डा फंक्शन रन करना है, रेंज निकालना है मैक्स और मिन का, ठीक है. दैट इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. सो हमने क्या करा, यहाँ पे ग्रुप बाय करा ऑन टॉप ऑफ माई ग्रुप. सो ग्रुप क्या है, ग्रुप बेसिकली हमारा की है यहाँ पे, जिसके ऊपर हमने ग्रुप बाय करना है. एंड ऑन दिस आई एम रनिंग द एजीजी एज अ फंक्शन. सो एग्रीगेट कर रहा हूँ. एग्रीगेट किस पे कर रहा हूँ, अब इसमें मैं एक, दिस की इज माई कॉलम नेम ए, एंड इसके ऊपर मुझे सम और मैक्स रन करना है. सो आई कैन पास द फंक्शन नेम डायरेक्टली एज इन टर्म ऑफ माई लिस्ट कॉम्प्यूटेशंस. ओके, दैट इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. एंड देन लैम्डा भी पास कर सकते हैं. यूजर डिफाइंड फंक्शन इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल, ठीक है. सो दैट्स हाउ वी हैव बीन डूइंग इट. सो एग्रीगेशन फंक्शनैलिटीज गाइस. सो दैट्स प्रीटी मच it. So that's what it about the aggregation functionalities. Transform भी possible है. So what is transform? Transform basically you are kind of transforming the original data into something else. So transform basically the number of data points will remain the same, but you are transforming it. You are mutating the data points to something else, right? So इस ये भी कर सकते हैं. Transform basically क्या, suppose मैं चाहता हूँ कि all of my points will be like data points minus mean, है ना. सब पे मेरे को ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन रन करना है ग्रुप के ऊपर. सो इंडिविजुअल ग्रुप्स का जो मीन होगा, उस ग्रुप के मीन से वो मेरे को वैल्यूज को रिड्यूस करना है विद द ग्रुप मीन, है ना. दैट इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. सो ट्रांसफॉर्म में मैंने क्या करा, इस ग्रुप बाय करके मैंने ट्रांसफॉर्म एज अ कीवर्ड यूज किया. सो कीवर्ड है यहाँ पे ट्रांसफॉर्म, है ना. सो ट्रांसफॉर्म के अंदर मैंने फंक्शन को पास किया. सो फंक्शन वेयर इट हैज lambda of x minus x of lambda of x minus x of mean. So basically इस पूरे ग्रुप का मीन माइनस of x, so of that particular value minus group का mean. तो मैंने को ये करना है. I can do that. So instead in that case where the objective is to transform the data into something else, keeping in mind that the whole data points will remain the same, the number of data points will remain the same. So then in that case we want to use transform. So summarize, जब आप समराइज करते हो तो यू आर रिड्यूसिंग द नंबर ऑफ डेटा पॉइंट्स, बिकॉज मीन तो एक ही हो सकता है ना पूरे कॉलम्स का, सम एक ही हो सकता है, वन वैल्यू हो सकता है, राइट. सो एग्रीगेशन हमेशा आपका टू रिड्यूस द नंबर ऑफ डेटा पॉइंट्स टू अ सिंगल पॉइंट, और आई मीन समराइज्ड वैल्यू जैसे आपको आउटपुट होगा, है ना. एंड देन ट्रांसफॉर्म में क्या होता है, यू आर कीपिंग इंटैक्ट द नंबर ऑफ डेटा पॉइंट्स यू हैव बट ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग इनटू अ न्यू वैल्यू. सो दैट्स द डिफरेंस. ठीक है. फिल्टर भी रन कर सकते हैं. सो फिल्टर अगेन बेसिक चीज है. ग्रुप बाय के ऊपर आप फिल्टर रन कर सकते हो. फिल्टर तो हमने ऑलरेडी पढ़ा हुआ है. सो फिल्टर कुछ भी हो सकता है. आई मीन वॉट एवर फिल्टर यू वांट टू परफॉर्म. सो आई जस्ट यूज अ बेसिक फिल्टर. आई सेड दैट फिल्टर आउट द डेटा पॉइंट्स वेयर आफ्टर ग्रुप बाय द लेंथ ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल ग्रुप शुड बी ग्रेटर देन 3. सो बेसिकली आई एम सेइंग दैट जिसका डेटा पॉइंट्स इक्वल टू और ग्रेटर देन 3 हो, है ना. सो हमने देखा था कि हमारे डेटा पॉइंट्स में ऑस्ट्रेलिया का 2 था, and India का 3 था, South Africa का 4, New Zealand का 4. So I have just used this function length of x is greater than 3 so or equal to 3. So मेरा उसमें Australia omit हो गया. So I have India, South Africa and New Zealand. Cool guys. So I think इसमें किसी को कोई भी question है, please put up your question. Or else if not, then we'll jump into the exercises straight away. कोई भी question है guys, please put up your question. We can talk because before jumping into the questions, I want your doubts to be cleared. Otherwise, it'll be a little tricky for you to answer the questions. So we're gonna solve some good group by questions today. Any doubts guys? Anything which you want to talk about? Aggregation functionality सब clear है? Cool. Thank you. In that case, let's proceed to our first question. ठीक है. So मैंने यहाँ पे DF को भी show कर रखा है. ठीक है. So guys, now the first question is, I want the name and the rating of the team with highest rating every year. So basically I'm saying that I want the highest rating every year along with the name of that team. So name and the highest rating of a particular year. That's what I want. Is the question clear guys? Anybody wants to attempt it? Just a basic syntax also will be fine guys. So I'm going to give you a few seconds or maybe a minute, right? So think about this question. So I'm going to solve it in 2-3 ways. Okay. So first, since we are into the group bys, I'll be solving it through group bys. Okay. So I would be expecting you guys to answer this question in terms of group by first. Okay. So the question is the name and the rating of the team with highest rating every year. Okay. So let's solve it with group bys first. Quickly guys. Guys, come on, a quick answer here will be fine. I mean, even if it's wrong, it's fine. If you won't interact, you won't learn this. So anyway, I'll be solving it for you, but I really want you to try it once. So just a basic syntax or maybe algorithmically also is fine. So if you want to write it in an English sentence, that's also is fine. So we can start coding based on your logic. Quickly guys, I'm going to give you maybe 30 more seconds to at least attempt something. Okay, so then in that case, let's start solving this. Hey Ayush, thank you so much. Thank you for the good comments. Okay, so I have one response here from Ranjan. So Ranjan says df.groupby of year and apply np.max. ठीक है, चलो, I'll just copy the same code which Ranjan has said and let's see what it gives. And then if any issues, any errors, we'll try to build on top of that so that I want Ranjan to also to be clarified, है ना, किसी की और कोई आंसर्स हैं, प्लीज पुट अप योर रिस्पॉन्स हियर, विल टॉक अबाउट इट. Hey, thank you so much, Ayush. I'm really happy that you're able to understand it. So I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, right? So, but again, if any feedback, so do let me know so I can modify it accordingly. But I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, like how I have learned in my life. So I'm trying to do that. Cool. So coming back to the question, so group by. So Ranjan says df dot group by. And he said by year. So year, the only reason year is because I'm saying it rating every year, guys. So that's a keyword, right? So I want the rating every year. So my key is my year. So that's the way you have to realize this, right? So very good observation, Ranjan. Thank you so much for this. Yes. So I want it since in every year. So every year. So basically हर एक year में चाहिए. Year मेरा key हो गया ना यहाँ पे. Year will be is my what? Year is my group by element. So इसके ऊपर मुझे group by करना है. I have to chunk my data based on this, right? So अभी मैं यहाँ पे year डाल देता हूँ. So df dot group by year है ना. अब इसके ऊपर he has said dot apply np dot max करते हैं. ठीक है. Can you see this? हमारे पास क्या आया है? Ranjan. So can you see this? Now in this particular team rank and points, अभी हम क्विकली पहले काम करते हैं, एक अलग अलग करके देखते हैं. So 2014 में, so अभी मैं काम करता हूं. अभी मैं सपोज df ऑफ df है ना, मेरे को चाहिए व्हाट ईयर इक्वल टू 2014 है ना. अभी इस पे रन करते हैं. ठीक है. अभी 2000, अभी सेम डेटा को आप देखो. अभी यहाँ पे क्या शो कर रहा है ये? फॉर 2014 इट इज शोइंग मी द मैक्सिमम पॉइंट्स ऑफ 891. बट ये साउथ अफ्रीका का है नहीं, ये ऑस्ट्रेलिया का है, राइट? Can you see this? So that's the problem. So if you apply it or aggregate it howsoever way you want without specifying, yes, absolutely right, Ranjan, you have to specify a column, right? Yes, you have to specify a column. If you just use a max here, this are individually getting sorted. So team का अगर मैं max करूंगा, so max basically ये max कैसे कर रहा है? This is doing the max based on the strings. A छोटा होगा, S बड़ा होगा, है ना? इसलिए it is showing SA. So इस 2014 के अंदर इसके पास 4 टीम है, इंडिया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड, साउथ अफ्रीका. इसलिए इट इज शोइंग मी साउथ अफ्रीका बिकॉज साउथ अफ्रीका बड़ा है कंपेयर टू इंडिया इफ आई टॉक अबाउट इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्ट्रिंग्स, है ना, बिकॉज एस इज बिगर देन ए, राइट, और आई. लाइकवाइज पॉइंट्स में इट इज डूइंग द मैक्सिमम ऑफ पॉइंट्स. ये इंडिविजुअल कंप्यूट कर रहा है, इसको कोलैबोरेट नहीं कर रहा है ना. सो अभी मेरे को ये जो डेटा मिला ये रॉन्ग हो गया. हमें ऑल्दो मैक्सिमम पॉइंट्स 891 है, इसमें से मेरे को ये सही ये चाहिए था मेरे को, बट इसके अगेंस्ट में जो नेम चाहिए वो गलत है. ये पॉइंट क्लियर हुआ रंजन, आयुष, सिमरन, बिस्टो, राइट? सो आई कैन नॉट जस्ट डायरेक्टली अप्लाई दिस ऑन टॉप ऑफ माई डेटा. ठीक है, चलो अभी हम अप्लाई भी नहीं करेंगे, हम सिंपल एग्रीगेट करते हैं जो हमने एग्रीगेट पढ़ा है. एग्रीगेट में हमने क्या पढ़ा है? हम इसमें एग्रीगेट के अंदर डिक्शनरी पैटर्न में पास कर सकते हैं. डिक्शनरी में हमारा की क्या होगा? हमारा वो की होगा कॉलम का नाम जिसपे हमें पास करना है. एंड देन डेफिनेटली हमें क्या चाहिए? मैक्स चाहिए. तो मैक्स तो हमें चाहिए ही चाहिए. तो हम अभी काम करते हैं, मैक्स रन करते हैं. अब हमने क्या किया? जब हमने ये रन किया तो अभी ये जो एम्बिगुअस डेटा था इसके अगेंस्ट में, टीम के अगेंस्ट में, है ना, so आपको जो वहां पे एम्बिगुअस डेटा दिख रहा था दैट हैज बीन सॉल्व्ड नाउ. ठीक है, बट अगेन हमारा फुल ऑब्जेक्टिव सॉल्व नहीं हुआ है अभी. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दिस गाइस, है ना, फुल ऑब्जेक्टिव सॉल्व नहीं हुआ है अभी. सो अभी मेरे को सिर्फ और सिर्फ रेटिंग मिली है, मतलब पॉइंट्स मिला है उस साल का सबसे हाईएस्ट जो कि 891 है, 2015 का 883 है, करेक्ट. अभी इस डेटा को मैं कैसे अरेंज कर सकता हूं? अभी तो को पॉइंट्स ऊपर लिख करके आ रहा है ना, ईयर नीचे लिख के आ रहा है. सो बेसिकली इसमें यहाँ पे मल्टी लेवल इंडेक्सिंग हो रखी है, मल्टी लेवल कॉलम्स हैं यहाँ पे. इसको आप सिंपल तरीके से भी रीसेट कर सकते हो, यू नो दिस. सो रीसेट अगर आप इंडेक्स करोगे बाय डिफॉल्ट, सो इट शुड सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम. सो अगर आप रीसेट इंडेक्स करते हो तो अभी देखो ये सिंपल सॉर्टेड डेटा में आ गया. ठीक है, इसमें किसी को कोई इशू है? आई एम ट्राइंग टू ब्रेक इट एज मच एज आई कैन. अगेन कोई इशू हो प्लीज आंसर करना, मुझे क्वेश्चन करना, ठीक है. सो अभी हमारे पास फर्स्ट चीज आ गया. हमें पता है कि हमारे पास ईयर क्या है और हर एक ईयर का मैक्सिमम पॉइंट्स क्या है, राइट. सो नाउ द ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू मैप टू फाइंड आउट दैट along on I mean on these individual points हमारा respective teams क्या है, right. So now we have to find out teams of these respective year. Unfortunately, so when I'm doing a points ka max, I cannot at the same time map my column name with the whatever team I want. So अभी suppose मैं aggregate करता हूँ ना, so aggregate भी करूँगा. suppose मैं यहाँ पे team भी डालता हूँ, फॉर एग्जाम्पल टीम डालता हूँ, तो टीम का तो मुझे कुछ ना कुछ एग्रीगेट लिखना पड़ेगा, है ना. या तो मैं मैक्स करूंगा या मिन करूंगा या फर्स्ट करूंगा या लास्ट, कुछ भी करूंगा. बट जरूरी नहीं है कि उसके अगेंस्ट में वो मैप हो जाएगा, बिकॉज वो डेटा इनकरेक्ट है. हमने ऑलरेडी एक एग्जाम्पल देख लिया पहले, करेक्ट. सो इन दिस एग्रीगेट फंक्शन इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू एड स्ट्रेट अवे लाइक दिस फॉर योर टीम्स, बिकॉज टीम्स का लॉजिक डिफरेंट है, पॉइंट्स का लॉजिक डिफरेंट है ना. टीम्स हमें बस उसको मैप करना है, टू जस्ट do a mapping of that points का thing, right. So अभी हम सिंपल देखते हैं. चलो अभी हम एक काम करते हैं. अब हमें अगर df पता है, so हम इस दोनों डेटा फ्रेम को मर्ज कर सकते हैं. So I have the original data frame जहां पे मेरे को पता है कि मेरा year है, मेरा points है. So this data frame basically I'm talking about. So I have my team, I have my rank of my year and my points. So I can do a merging of this data frame. So this is a new data frame, right. So I can store it into some. So maybe I can store it in a say df dot group, a new data frame. Okay, so I have stored in a new data frame. So I can merge this data frame and the original data frame, which is df, based on what? Based on these two keys. I can do that, right. So in this case I'll be getting my team from that particular year and points. Is this point clear, guys? कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो प्लीज डू नॉट हेजिटेट, आस्क द क्वेश्चन, इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट, है ना. अभी मैं इसको काम करता हूं, सेव कर देता हूं, ठीक है. अब मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं, सो डीएफ के अंदर मेरे पास क्या क्या कॉलम्स हैं, ठीक है. डीएफ के अंदर मेरे पास टीम है, रैंक है, ईयर है, पॉइंट्स है. बट मेरे पास डीएफ ग्रुप में क्या है? सिर्फ मेरे पास ईयर है और पॉइंट्स है, राइट. यू नो दिस. सो अभी मैं एक काम करता हूं. अभी मैं एक नया अब मैं क्या करना चाहता हूं, मैं मर्जिंग करना चाहता हूं. सो बेसिकली अब मैं बोलता हूं, अब आई एम क्रिएटिंग डीएफ ऑफ, अभी मैंने छोड़ा, अभी पहले मर्जिंग करके देख लेते हैं. सो पीडी डॉट मर्ज, मर्ज एक हमारे पास, आपको पता है, आई एम नॉट श्योर आपको व्हाट दिस. सो इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट प्लीज डू लेट मी नो. सो मर्ज एंड ज्वाइन, दो तरीके से हम डेटा फ्रेम्स को ज्वाइन करते हैं, ठीक है. सो मर्ज का सिंटेक्स क्या होता है? सो df1 df2, how basically left, right, inner, outer, and then you have key on basically. So this is my syntax, ठीक है, of df.merge. अभी df1 basically मेरा first table क्या है? अभी हमें क्या करना है? I want the number of rows to be similar to my output. So output हमें इसके हिसाब से चाहिए, right? So I have 4 rows here. So मेरा अभी हम काम करते हैं, first table अपना df group by रखते हैं, ठीक है. let's do it like this. Let's keep this df group by as my first table, है ना, and then the second table as my original table, which is df, है ना. How I'm gonna do it? So basically I want how is equal to left. So I want a left join to be done. So basically I'm saying that how many number of rows I have in df group. So I want only those to be mapped with df, है ना. I want only 4 rows to be mapped with df. So this is why I'm doing a left join here. On basically key क्या है मेरा? key यहाँ पे I have 2 keys here, right. So I have what? year and I have points, है ना. So I have this years and points. इसमें किसी को कोई इशू नहीं है. एक बार मैं इसको रन करके देख लेते हैं. Voila. So you have this, right. So 2014 891 के अगेंस्ट में मेरे पास टीम भी आ गया और रैंक भी आ गया. अरे ये तो रैंक तो ज्यादा आ गया, रैंक तो हमें चाहिए नहीं था. अब क्या कर सकते हैं? In this df के अंदर में I can only pass the columns which I want to be merged. So I want year, I want points, and I want what? अरे यार तो गलत हो गया ना. I want team, है ना. अब रन करके देखते हैं. अभी रन किया तो सिर्फ मेरे पास ईयर, पॉइंट्स एंड टीम रह गया। यही हमें चाहिए था ना, दिस इज द आउटपुट विच वी वांटेड, राइट। अब इसको हम कहीं और सेव कर लेते हैं, सपोज df अंडरस्कोर ग्रुप अंडरस्कोर 1, इसको डिलीट करो। सो दिस इज द वन विच आई वांटेड। एंड अगर अब मैं df डॉट ग्रुप डॉट 1 को शो कर लेता हूँ, है ना, सो दिस इज द एंटायर थिंग, इसको मैं एक साथ ही कर देता हूँ, डूइंग इट लाइक दिस। तो इसको भी रन कर लेता हूँ। दिस इज द आउटपुट, राइट। सो दिस इज व्हाट वी वांटेड। किसी को कोई डाउट है? लेट मी मॉनिटर द चैट्स। एनी क्वेश्चंस गाइस? Yeah, so anybody has any questions? Ranjan, Ayush? So we did two things here guys. So we did first a group by पे हमने क्या कर रहा, years और points का aggregate निकाल लिया, हर एक ईयर के अगेंस्ट में what is my maximum year, maximum points on that particular year, and then I just got it mapped to my original data frame on the keys of year and points. किसी को भी कोई क्वेश्चन है इसमें? एनीबडी हैज एनी क्वेश्चन? ओके, इफ नॉट देन लेट्स ट्राई टू डू वन मोर थिंग। ठीक है, अभी हमने क्या करा, अभी इसको हमने ग्रुप बाई से सॉल्व किया, है ना। इसको हम बिकॉज ये ऐसी चीज है, हमने क्या करना है, मैक्सिमम निकालना है और उसका ईयर और कॉलम भी चाहिए, तो ग्रुप बाई की वजह हम इसको सॉर्टिंग से भी तो कर सकते हैं। सॉर्टिंग अगर हम करें इसको रिवर्स ऑर्डर में, है ना, सॉर्ट वैल्यूज कर लें, अगर हम सॉर्ट वैल्यू कर दें अगर हम पॉइंट्स में, तो तब भी तो निकल सकता है। कैसे निकल सकता है? लेट्स ट्राई टू डू दैट। सपोज अभी मेरे को सॉर्ट वैल्यूज यूज करना है, अभी मैं सॉर्टिंग से भी कर सकता हूँ सेम चीज को। कैसे? लेट मी शो इट यू। सो आई एम सॉर्टिंग इट बेस्ड ऑन द पॉइंट्स फर्स्ट। लेट्स सी दिस। इसमें क्या हुआ आपको दिख रहा है? सो ये इंटायर डेटा जो है मेरा पॉइंट्स पे सॉर्ट हो गया फर्स्ट। ठीक है, अब मेरे को क्या करना है, इसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें मेरे को हर एक ईयर का चाहिए, है ना। सो अभी मैं इसके ऊपर, आपने ये भी फंक्शन पढ़ा होगा ना, ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट्स। अगर हम ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट्स कर दें, ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट्स ऑफ व्हाट, मेरे को ईयर का ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट चाहिए, राइट। सो अगर मैं ईयर का ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट कर दूं, है ना, इसमें एक चीज और है बट मैं एक बार शो करना चाहता हूं आपको। देखो इसमें क्या हुआ, हमें सेम चीज मिला, हमने ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट्स तो कर दिया, ईयर में ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट भी कर दिया, हमें 4 रो मिल गए, 2014, 16, 17, 15 में भी मिल गए, है ना। बट इंस्टेड ऑफ दिस आई गॉट द लोएस्ट वैल्यूज। सो 2014 का अगर आप देखोगे, आई थिंक वी हैव गॉट द लोएस्ट वैल्यू हियर ना। सो इसका भी उपाय है हमारे पास, विल डू दैट, बट आई वांट टू शो इट यू फर्स्ट। सो df ऑफ ईयर इज इक्वल टू 2014 करके देखते हैं पहले, है ना। सो देखो 2014 में आप देखोगे यहाँ पे लोएस्ट है आपके पास 691, राइट। सो हमने ऐसा करने में क्या किया, ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट जब ईयर करा तो हमने वी फाउंड आउट द लोएस्ट वैल्यू। सो बेसिकली इट हैज टेकन द फर्स्ट वैल्यू ऑफ माई सॉर्टेड ऑर्डर, है ना। सो सॉर्ट करोगे तो असेंडिंग ऑर्डर पे सॉर्ट कर रहा है, so by default, so sorting में it is taking the first value, so basically I have to keep the last value। अगर मैं if I on drop duplicates, if I use the last value which is 891 and against this the year and I mean the team and the rank, so that is what I want, right? So I can just pass another, so we have an argument called as keep in drop duplicates, so I can just pass this as last. Let's see this. Voila. So you have, right, so this is what you have, this is what you wanted, right? And then I mean, yeah, so I mean definitely the years are not sorted, so yeah, so you can put another sort here, dot sort values, oh my god, values, then you can do on top of what, year, Let's see this. You have it, right? Same data. Can you see this? Just remove this for instance. Right. Can you see this? So 2014, 891, 2014, 891 Australia, 2015, 883 New Zealand, and likewise. This is what he wanted, right? So I have this frame ready with me now, correct? So now on top of this, I can do, if I want to filter out any particular column, so team rank or team year points चाहिए तो मैं इसके ऊपर I lock कर लूँगा या फिर उसको suppose मैं कर ही लेता हूँ. So what I'll do, I want say lock of, so I want all the rows, so इसमें कोई issue नहीं है, and in the columns I want what, team, I want year, and I want points is what I want. तो मैंने लॉक कर लिया. और इनफैक्ट ये इंडेक्स भी का भी इशू है, तो इंडेक्स को भी सॉर्ट कर लो यार. लॉक करने से पहले एक काम करता हूँ, मैंने इसको यहाँ पे एक और डॉट रीसेट इंडेक्स कर देता हूँ, रीसेट इंडेक्स. और इनफैक्ट यहाँ पे मैं इसको ड्रॉप इक्वल टू ट्रू कर देता हूँ, तो मेरा इंडेक्स भी सॉर्ट हो जाएगा यहाँ पे, है ना. एग्जैक्टली दिस इज व्हाट वी वर गेटिंग हियर. आप कॉलम्स को भी अरेंज कर सकते हो यार, इसमें तो कोई इशू नहीं है. Anybody has any question in this? So we solved the same question in two different ways. ग्रुप बाय से भी करके देखा हमने, और सिंपल सॉर्ट वैल्यू जो हमने बेसिक पैंडास की फंक्शंस पढ़े हैं गाइस, हमने उससे भी सॉल्व किया. ग्रुप बाय, सॉर्ट वैल्यूज, ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट्स, ये सब हमने पढ़ा हुआ है. किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन है इसमें? Anybody has any question? अगेन इसमें देखो गाइस, बहुत मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें क्या है इसमें समझने के लिए फॉर पाइथन. सो पाइथन इज एन ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग, है ना. एंड ईच ऑफ दीज फंक्शन इज अ डिफरेंट ऑब्जेक्ट, आई मीन ऑब्जेक्ट का फंक्शन बेसिकली, है ना. सो डीएफ इज माय ऑब्जेक्ट, है ना. सो इस ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर मैंने सबसे पहले सॉर्ट वैल्यूज करा, ठीक है. सो नाउ दिस इंटायर थिंग, यहां से लेकर के यहां तक, दिस हैज बिकम अनदर ऑब्जेक्ट, ऑब्जेक्ट नंबर 2 फॉर मी, है ना. सो ऑन दिस आई एम रनिंग दिस थर्ड फंक्शन, ठीक है. अब जब ये रन हो गया, सो नाउ दिस इंटायर थिंग हैज बिकम माय थर्ड ऑब्जेक्ट, है ना. अब इसके ऊपर मैं क्या रन कर रहा हूं, मैं अगेन सॉर्ट वैल्यूज रन कर रहा हूं, एंड देन दिस इंटायर थिंग विल बिकम माय अनदर ऑब्जेक्ट. देन उसके ऊपर मैं रीसेट इंडेक्स कर रहा हूं, एंड देन उसके ऊपर मैं लॉक कर रहा हूं. So you're seeing this, I'm just calling these multiple functions one by one in a symmetrical fashion. So one by one execute होता है Python में हमेशा, always remember this, है ना. First मेरा sort values execute हुआ, उसके ऊपर drop duplicates execute हुआ, then sort values execute हुआ, then reset index execute हुआ, then उसके ऊपर lock execute हुआ. अगर आप चाहोगे to write this entire code at once, कभी नहीं होगा जब आप start कर रहे हो अपना करियर, है ना. Always do one by one. मैंने इसको एक साथ तो रन नहीं किया. Did I run it entirely? नहीं रन किया ना. मैंने आपके सामने कोड को बनाया. कैसे बनाया? लॉजिक समझो. सबसे पहले हमने df डॉट सॉर्ट वैल्यूज को पॉइंट्स करा, है ना. हमें पता चला कि पॉइंट तो सॉर्ट हो गए. देन इसके ऊपर हमें क्या करना है कि इसको हर एक साल का एक एक वैल्यू चाहिए, राइट. तो ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट हमने करा, सेकंड ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या था. तो ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट्स करा, इसके ऊपर मैंने ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट्स करूंगा. तो ड्रॉप डुप्लीकेट्स में मैंने सबसे पहले ईयर पे करा, तो मेरे को इशू आ रहा था कि फर्स्ट वैल्यू वो ले रहा है, लोएस्ट ले रहा है. देन आई एडेड दिस कीप इक्वल टू लास्ट, बेसिकली वो लास्ट वैल्यू रखेगा, ठीक है. देन हमने यहां तक सॉर्ट किया. अगेन वी रन इट लाइक दैट. मेरा सिस्टम थोड़ा स्टक हो रहा है, सॉरी. एक मिनट ना, है ना. राइट. सो फिर जब हम ये रन करेंगे तो मेरे को क्या ये सारे डेटा मिल गया, है ना. ये एग्जैक्टली दिस व्हाट आई वांटेड, राइट. अब इसके ऊपर अगेन आई एम सीइंग दैट ईयर जो है वो थोड़ा हैफाजार्ड आ रहा है 17 से, ये अपोजिट ऑर्डर में. तो अगेन हम सॉर्ट वैल्यूज कर सकते हैं. सॉर्ट वैल्यूज ऑन ईयर, दिस इज माय अगेन अनदर फंक्शन ऑन टॉप ऑफ दिस. जब हमने ये रन करा तो हमें दिख रहा है कि हमारा ये ईयर सॉर्टेड हो गया, है ना. बट अगेन द प्रॉब्लम इज आई एम सीइंग दैट दिस इंडेक्सेस आर रॉन्ग, है ना. सो दिस इंडेक्सेस आर रॉन्ग. तो हमने वापस से इसको एक रीसेट इंडेक्स कर दिया. सिंपल रीसेट इंडेक्स में ड्रॉप ट्रू डाला तो मतलब ओरिजिनल इंडेक्सिंग विल बी ड्रॉप, राइट. And then on top of this, I've run the lock. So basically lock and iLock, maybe आपको कोई confusion नहीं होना चाहिए. We have taken multiple session on lock and iLock. So we are just using all rows and certain columns, whatever I wanted. So if I'm running like this, so I'm getting the final result. So this is what the result is. Quick question, guys. Any question, anything? Please feel free to ask a question. If you won't ask, you will not understand. Shafi, sure, why not? So in fact, I can take the data structures using Python. So but again, we'll take that. Let's take it one by one, right? So first of all, let's finish this particular session. So we are doing on data science part. So and the meanwhile, I'll try to add. I'll take this as a feedback for sure, and I'll try to add it to my content accordingly. But thank you so much for putting up your comment. I hope there is no question, there is no understanding issues in the problem, right? कोई भी डाउट है किसी को? Just a yes or no, guys. If no, then we can move to the next question. एक और करते हैं quickly. So we have, I think, 10-15 more minutes, so we can do that. Just a quick yes or no, guys. If you're okay. If you don't have any question, just say yes, you're okay. So we can move ahead. Cool. Then in that case, let's do one more question, guys. Maybe another question for the day. Just a minute. Great. So you have another question. It's just a hinge of a difference here. Okay. But again, it's a good question. So do not get confused. So now the question is, I want the maximum rating per team in their lifetime and the corresponding year in which when they have the maximum rating. So we want the maximum rating per team in their lifetime and the corresponding year in which they had the maximum rating. Cool, guys, quickly. So this is again similar to the previous question. Just a practice question for you. So I think there should not be any issue in understanding this. Quickly, guys, go ahead and put up your response here. Quickly, guys, Ranjan, Ayush, Shafi, Simrandeep Singh, anybody who is part of the lecture today. So again, it's on the similar lines, guys. So the way we have solved the previous question, it's again on the similar lines. A hinge of a difference, and the difference is required to understand the logics. But again, we'll be solving it in exactly similar way, guys. Exactly similar way. Quickly. Hello, Bhushan. I hope you're understanding the problems. Thank you so much, Bhushan. Again, yeah, always pleased to help you guys. So I try to make it as simple as possible. I try to break the logics to the best I can. But again, if you have any comments, any feedback, you feel that you're not able to understand what we're talking, so always feel free to put up your questions, guys. If you won't talk, I will never understand that you're not understanding, right? So it's a two-way. It should be a two-way communication, right? So I would always expect you guys to be part of the interaction. So again, if you won't interact, as I've said, I won't be able to understand. I won't be knowing whether you're understanding or not, right? I mean, I'm not a god. So always try to interact as much as I can. So I mean, that's the way we can develop the interest of the classroom also, right? So even I'll be happy to talk to you guys likewise. Great. So, but again, it's fine, totally fine. So, please put up your questions as much as you can. But again, coming back to the point, guys, please try this. Ranjan, Bhushan, Shafi, Simrandeep Singh, Ayush, whosoever is part of the lecture today. So, please put up the answers. So, we have already done it, guys. So, it's the similar lines. Okay, so it's on the similar lines. So, it's totally fine, Bhushan. So anyway, see, I've just started, so definitely I'm not Tom Cruise, so I will get the views straight away. I'm not working for views anyway. I'm fine with even teaching to a single person in the classroom, so that's totally fine. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm looking for. So if people are enjoying the classroom, right? So you can start involving your friends, your whosoever you feel like will be benefited. So we can always talk. So that shouldn't be a problem. But again. See, I mean, that is something which I would say you guys can help me on, right? But again, I'm totally open for this. So I'm not at all disappointed by that. So it takes time. So everything takes time. So yeah, so once people will start learning from this, they put up the good comments, then people will start joining in later. That's totally fine. Great. Anyway, so let's jump to this question, guys. है ना? So we quickly इसको solve करते हैं. अभी हमारे पास क्या है? Now I want the maximum rating per team in lifetime, है ना? हमारा objective तो ये है. So maximum rating. Now this time I want this time I want per team, right? So what I'm trying to say here is, so here the group by is group by is gonna be on top of what? So it's gonna be based on my team this time. So instead of year, I'm going to have it based on my team, right? So because as I said, so suppose India is having the highest rating in the year of 2014. तो हो सकता है ना कि सेम ईयर में ऑस्ट्रेलिया को भी हाईएस्ट रेटिंग ही मिली हो, बट ऑल्दो द रैंक्स आर डिफरेंट, बट हो सकता है कि सेम ईयर में दोनों को मिला हो, करेक्ट? सो आई कैन नॉट टेक इट बेस्ड ऑन द ईयर. I want it based on the team. So the group by key here is team. So I want the maximum rating based on the team. So group by key is my team here. Okay. And on this, what I want the aggregation on my points. है ना? Points का मुझे चाहिए. Points का मुझे चाहिए again max चाहिए. एक बार ये देख लेते हैं. तो अब हम जब इसको रन करेंगे, so हमें इंडिविजुअल टीम का मैक्सिमम पॉइंट्स निकल के आ गया, है ना? क्लियर? ये हमारा फर्स्ट एजेंडा था. इसको रीसेट इंडेक्स कर लेते हैं. रीसेट इंडेक्स हमने कर लिया, तो हमें ये एक सिंपल एक डेटा फ्रेम में मिल जाएगा. सो टीम एंड पॉइंट्स मिल गया. नाउ एज यू नो दैट टू add the corresponding year as well, so that corresponding year is another field which I want to add from my ओरिजिनल डेटा फ्रेम, राइट? सो सेम लॉजिक यूज करते हैं, सेम लॉजिक यूज करते हैं. सो अभी हम इसको अगेन नाम दे देते हैं डीएफ ग्रुप, है ना? सो अभी मेरा फर्स्ट बन गया, इसमें कोई इशू नहीं है. अब हमें क्या करना था? हमें मर्ज करना है, राइट? सो हमें क्या मर्ज करना है? पीडी डॉट मर्ज करते हैं. मर्ज के ऊपर हमारा फर्स्ट डेटा फ्रेम जो है, सपोज यही है डेटा फ्रेम हमारा, इसके ऊपर हमारा डीएफ ग्रुप हमारा फर्स्ट डेटा फ्रेम है. एंड देन हमारा सेकंड डेटा फ्रेम हमारा ओरिजिनल डेटा फ्रेम है. हमें कैसे मर्ज करना है, हाउ, हाउ के ऊपर आप दोगे लेफ्ट, बिकॉज I want the left table to be used as my reference. So whatsoever rows are there, only for those rows the corresponding added information will be added, है ना. So information as in columns will be added. So how is equal to left हो गया मेरा यहाँ पे. And then अब किसी को भी left right outer में इशू हो तो प्लीज बताना. So we'll talk on left join, right join and all that, है ना. ये लेफ्ट जॉइन हो गया. एंड देन ऑन किस पे करना है, ऑन बेसिकली की है मेरा. सो की है मेरा यहाँ पे क्या है, की है मेरा यहाँ पे टीम एंड पॉइंट्स. बिकॉज क्यों टीम एंड पॉइंट से मैं भी शो कर देता हूं. तो जब आप इसको, अरे यार शिट, ठीक है मैं इसको डिलीट करता हूँ. df डॉट ग्रुप जब करता हूँ तो मेरे को टीम एंड पॉइंट्स मिलता है, करेक्ट. सो टीम एंड पॉइंट्स में मेरे पास ये इंफॉर्मेशन है. तो मेरे पास अभी कॉलम्स क्या है, हमारे पास टीम के ऊपर हमने एग्रीगेट करा था एज अ की, एंड पॉइंट्स इज माय समराइज्ड कॉलम, राइट, जिसमें हमने एग्रीगेशन करा है, करेक्ट. सो यही दो कॉलम्स है जिसके ऊपर मुझे मर्जिंग करनी है, करेक्ट. सो ऑन मेरा टीम एंड पॉइंट्स आर माय की ऑन विच आई एम गोइंग टू डू द मर्ज. सो एक बार क्विकली इसको रन करके देख लेते हैं मर्ज में क्या आ रहा है. एग्जैक्टली दिस व्हाट आई वांटेड. सो 891 और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अगेंस्ट में रैंक भी आ गया और ईयर भी आ गया. सो 2014 में ऑस्ट्रेलिया का 891 हाईएस्ट रैंक था और 2014 में इंडिया का भी हाईएस्ट है 876. क्लियर है, कोई इशू नहीं है. अब इसमें से मुझे रैंक नहीं चाहिए. सो रैंक नहीं चाहिए तो इसका मल्टीपल वेज है, बट मैं मर्जिंग के टाइम में डिफाइन कर देता हूँ ना कि मेरे को ऑन व्हाट ऑल कॉलम्स आई वांट टू डू द मर्जिंग ऑन. सो इसमें मुझे चाहिए टीम, I want what I want points, and I want only year. I don't want rank, है ना. So इसको मैं merge कर देता हूँ. So इसको मैं रन करूँगा. So I'll get the team points and year. कोई इशू नहीं है. अब ये मेरा, इसको मैं एक अनदर दूसरा नाम दे देता हूँ. तो ये हो गया df dot group equal to df dot grouped. इसको 1 कर देता हूँ. कूल, दिस व्हाट यू वांटेड. ये हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव आ गया, यही हम चाहते थे, राइट. इसमें किसी को कोई इशू है, दिस व्हाट यू वांटेड. सेम चीज अगेन, द सेम क्वेश्चन है. वी कैन सॉल्व दिस यूजिंग द सॉर्ट वैल्यूज फंक्शन ऑल्सो. यू हैव ऑलरेडी डन दिस. तो सॉर्ट वैल्यूज में हम क्या करेंगे, डीएफ है हमारे पास यहाँ पे, एग्जैक्टली राइट. सो डीएफ को सबसे पहले हम सॉर्ट करेंगे. सॉर्ट कर देते हैं ऑन वैल्यूज बेस्ड ऑन पॉइंट्स, बिकॉज सॉर्टिंग हैज टू बी डन बेस्ड ऑन पॉइंट्स. पॉइंट्स के हिसाब से हम सॉर्टिंग कर रहे हैं, राइट. बट इन दिस टाइम व्हेन वी आर डूइंग द ड्रॉप duplicates, so what I want, so in this time I don't want the drop duplicates of year, I want the drop duplicates of team, right, because team का मुझे highest points चाहिए. So हर एक per team चाहिए. So per team मतलब जो भी duplicated team का रो है मुझे उसको drop करना है. So team के duplicate को मैं drop करूंगा. कर दिया मैंने. Again मेरे को same issue आया. So I saw that the lowest ones are getting selected. So मेरे को lowest तो चाहिए नहीं. So basically मेरे को इसका last record रखना है. So keep इक्वल टू मैं लास्ट कर देता हूँ. सो लास्ट रिकॉर्ड मेरे को निकल के आ जाएगा, करेक्ट है ना. इसमें कोई इशू नहीं है. और मैं इसको काम कर देता हूँ. अगेन आई एम गोना सॉर्ट दिस, थोड़ा अच्छा लगेगा. सॉर्ट वैल्यूज बेस्ड ऑन माय टीम. मैं सॉर्ट कर दिया इस पे. तो आई एम सीइंग दैट माय टीम आर गेटिंग सॉर्टेड. अभी मेरे को इंडेक्सेस गलत दिख रहे हैं. सो अगेन आई एम गोना डू द व्हाट, रीसेट index, and then I'm gonna drop the original ones. cool. तो मेरे को वापस से reset index में कॉलम दिख गया. अगेन मेरे को इसमें रैंक एक्स्ट्रा दिख रहा है. तो I'm gonna remove the rank. so रैंक कैसे रिमूव कर सकते हो, कैसे भी कर सकते हो. iLock, हमने iLock पढ़ा है और लॉक पढ़ा है तो हम उसी से करेंगे. so लॉक यूज करते हैं because I am passing the labels here. so लॉक में all rows चाहिए, and then in this column के index में I'm passing the exact column which I want. so I want team, I want year, and I want points. cool. so same तरीके से now so we have the same answer here, correct. so Australia, India, they had the highest point of 891, Australia in the year of 2014. Likewise, India had the highest point of 876 in the year of 2014 also, right? That's the difference. Here you can see that I'm using per year what is the maximum highest rating. So you can see 2014 में 891 highest rating था, and also we have observed that in this ऑस्ट्रेलिया का हाईएस्ट रेटिंग 2014 था. 2014 में जो 891 था वो दैट इज द हाईएस्ट ओवरऑल ग्लोबल हाईएस्ट है. ठीक है, कूल गाइस. किसी को भी कोई क्वेश्चन है? एनी क्वेश्चंस टू द इन द प्रॉब्लम्स व्हिच वी हैव सॉल्व्ड टुडे? सो आई एम गोना स्टॉप इट फॉर द डे, सो we'll be solving few more questions tomorrow and day after tomorrow and likewise. But anything guys, any questions, any issues, any concerns? So anything, any questions you guys have, so we can take up few questions. Bhushan, Shafi, Ranjan, Ayush, I hope you guys are following up with me. So again, any questions, I'm all ears. Hanji Bhushan, please tell me what's your question. Consistency as in and what consistency you're talking about? Acha, okay. So I would only say, Bhushan, that start from basics. So that's the way we have started in our lecture. So whatsoever language you're learning, okay, so be not only Python or any language, whatever you're learning, right? So always start from base. So that should be your first objective, and the regular practice is what we look for. So because see, coding is not a theoretical subject, right? So which you can learn and mug up and then just give the exam and get the good marks, right? It's not like that. So coding is all towards practice. So once you have the right knowledge, right? So that is a reason why in my classroom I always try to solve as many questions as I can, right? Because if I just keep on talking, it's more of a lecture for you, right? So, and Python is not about lecture, it's all about hands-on, right? So more you practice, more comfortable you will be. You getting it? So that's how it is. So the only suggestion for you is, just practice the concepts which you have, and whatsoever we are doing here, right? And with the consistent practice, so at least give at least half an hour a day to solve some questions on Python. So whatsoever topic you're learning, or maybe any coding language which you're learning, right? So at least start with half an hour, right? And then try to do it up till 2 hours per day. So 2 hours is the max you can give per problem a day. And if you're professionally working on that code, so that's more than enough, right? But again, if you're not professionally working, and if you're academically learning that, so at least half an hour is the basic bare minimum requirement per day for any language to be learned. So that's how you can be consistent. We'll try to wrap up. I think I'm seeing at least a couple of months from now for sure, because we have a lot of things to cover. But again, since I'm not rushing through the concepts, actually the thing is I'm taking a concept or two, and then we are solving the problems on that for at least a week or so, right? So we're doing it like that. So if I have to cover the concepts, I can do it in a month. Trust me on that. So that should not be a problem. But again, you'll not be able to take it, right? So take home will be not much. So, but with the problems, you will be able to understand that concept, right? So if I take that, so at least couple of months I'm targeting. But yeah, so since we are also planning to start a SQL also meanwhile, so we'll be doing things parallelly. Cool. Great. So thank you so much, Bhushan, for your questions, and thank you so much whosoever was part of the discussion today. So no, Django will not be there. So I'm not covering Django as the concept here. So Django is a different concept. So it's more towards your integration part. So we'll not be covering Django in this series of lecture, but for Django or Flask, so we have not planned it, but that's the Django are not part of this series. Cool, great. Thank you so much, guys. Again, Bhushan, thank you so much for your lovely questions, and thank you so much, everyone who's ever part of the lecture today. So let's meet tomorrow again, guys. Same time, 2 p.m. So today we were a bit late, referring to our connectivity issues and technical issues. But tomorrow we'll be starting hopefully on time at 2 p.m. So I would request you guys to be part of the lecture on time. So we'll start right after at 2 p.m. Thank you so much and have a good day ahead. Bye bye.